I think I'm pretty outspoken about the whole subs versus dubs issue and how I think about um, subbing purist elitist type people. I mean, you just can't deny that there are good dubs out there, and if you think that watching the subbed versions is like the only way to watch anime, and there's like not a single good dub out there that you can watch, um, I mean, that's rather close-minded and ignorant to me. But if you prefer subs, that's cool. And, there's plenty of examples out there of why subs are almost always better than dubs. And one of the arguments I pointed to in the discussion about dub haters was the country of origin. It's made in Japan, and they are the creators, so it should be watched in Japanese because it's in within their own culture, and sometimes you just can't. I mean, it's impossible to get like various things if you watch it in English, and I pointed to other various things in my last subs versus dubs video, where I pointed out some various mishaps, I guess, like some things you can't avoid that makes the dub pretty awkward to watch, given that it takes place in Japan. Particularly, the more humorous one that I like is the one from Chobits.
Wait a second. What's this word respect? What's the definition of the word respect? Where's my dictionary?
Chi, Chi,
You know, Chi, I'm really not playing around right now.
Chi,
I'm looking for my dictionary.
Chi.
Come to think, I haven't seen that dictionary since I moved in here. I haven't unpacked these boxes yet. Guess that shows how much I've been avoiding English. Let's see, dictionary. Huh? That's impossible! Gone! It's really gone! I must have left my dictionary back home. This is the worst! Why didn't I think of this before now? I can't possibly learn English like this! I'm such a stupid idiot!
But here's two other examples that I wanted to put in that video, but I didn't get a chance to, and I really want to elaborate on them because they're a bit more subtle, and you'll basically miss these things if you watch the dub version first, especially if you watch the dub version first. And these movies are two Studio Ghibli movies, Kiki's Delivery Service and Whisper of the Heart, two of my all-time favorite animated features, actually. And they're both really excellent dubs, I have to say. I mean, people will definitely disagree with me on it with this one. People just hate this dub for some reason. But I think they're pretty good. They definitely do an acceptable job, I mean, as far as dubs go. But they both have things in them that make translation difficult for both of these, and specific instances within each one, and I'll point these out. Let's tackle Kiki's Delivery Service first. In this movie, she brings her father's radio with her, and in the beginning of the film, she is listening to it.
But first, here's the weather forecast. Skies are clearing up thanks to a high-pressure front moving in from the mountains. Mild winds will be blowing in from the west, pushing the clouds out by this evening. There'll be a beautiful full moon lighting up the sky, so if you've been planning something special, tonight might be the night. Tomorrow also looks good with clear skies and sun.
And, it kind of symbolizes her relationship back home and her attachment back home with her parents and with her own, comfortable setting.
Dad! Oh, could I please take the radio? Mom, didn't you say I could have the radio? Yay!
And then later on in the movie, she turns on the radio and then she turns it right back off. Like, she's disappointed in hearing it. And if you watch the dub, you don't really know why.
And don't forget that this summer, the hit music...
Unless you've been watching the Japanese version this entire time. because actually in that particular time and in the time before that, the radio is speaking in English. And of course, when she's not in the town, her training town, it's all in Japanese.
回復に向かっています。今夕は西北西の風、風力は3、晴れ。素晴らしい満月の夜になるでしょう。明日は晴れでしょう。明後日は晴れでしょう。次は生鮮食品市況をお送りします。刈木屋中央市場調べ。
But the 2 times you hear the radio, when she's in that town, it's in English. And this just accentuates, her isolation, her aloneness. It just kicks her when she's down at that particular moment. And you really don't get that if you're watching the dub.
Well, I'll be.
So in this case, despite my feelings that this Disney dub is actually a rather good dub, although many would disagree with me, it's probably ideal to watch Kiki the first time the Japanese version, subbed or raw. Moving on to Whisper of the Heart, the song Country Roads, American song, mind you, is prominently featured, and it's quite an important part of the plot, actually. And one of the things in it, the main character, Shizuku, she is translating the lyrics from English to Japanese for her high school graduation, or junior high graduation, rather. But if you watch the dub version first, as I did, I, being an idiot, didn't put into context that, they were Japanese, it was taking place in Japan, I got English so ingrained in my brain at that point in time, I guess, that I totally missed what was actually happening. Because in the movie, they can't really get across that she's translating the lyrics from Japanese to English, because, they're all speaking English. And so it kind of makes it so, like, she's rewriting the lyrics or something. And, of course I knew about the song, Country Roads. So I was like, to me, that didn't get through to me, that she was translating the lyrics.
I wrote some lyrics for our graduation ceremony, but I'm pretty sure that they stink.
一応やってみたけどうまくいかないよ。やっぱり英語のままでやったら?
And of course, if you're watching the original Japanese version, you don't have this problem, obviously. And it should be noted also that her Japanese lyrics are quite different from the English lyrics, the song. And again, it's a very important part of the plot. They play the English version of the song in the opening credits, and during the closing credits, they play her version. So hey, those are 2 more examples of subbing being superior to dubbing in a weird kind of way. Just like those other examples I cited in my previous video. It just, says how hard exactly it is to translate this, as I said in that video. It's extremely difficult. If you prefer subs, then these are prime examples of how watching the original version subbed or raw is better than watching the dubbed American version first. Even in the case of 2 really good dubs. So those are all the examples that I could find in my collection and stuff that I've seen. Perhaps you guys, in fact, I know you guys have more examples of these sorts of things. If you have them, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. Some of them are quite hilarious, I think. So that's all I got. I'm NGamer3K. I'll see you next time. I'm NGamer.